Boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what we do have needed is Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game free. So this game is developed by the Milestones SRI, and these developers are the guys that did develop the series of, the latest series from MotoGP, MXGP and Ride series. So they focus pretty much on bike racing. But there are also Gravel and Sebastian Loeb. Unfortunately, Milestones, it is a type of developer that I usually don't care. They do perform reasonable games, but they are also very pricey. I don't understand why they do this, and they release the games quite often, and unfortunately they don't revamp the games to a point that I feel that they did justify a new release. But that's not really what we want to talk about in here. We are here to talk about the performance and see how it performs on the GT 740M, which is pretty much the same graphic card as the GT 920M or the GT 825M. So with that, I'm just going to make this jump into the settings of the game. So let's go to the video options, and as you can see I'm running with native resolution, but I'm using 50% of resolution scaling. I'm using the low preset in here, which the only change that I've made, it was the FPS, because it was locked to 30 frames per second when you select low, and I just changed it to dynamic. For the settings, for the recommendations, I mean, they do recommend an i5 4460, 8 gigs of RAM, and the GTX 760 desktop. So this is considerably much more powerful than what we have in here, but even so, with the low settings, without using any resolution scaling, I got an average below 30 frames per second. The game never reached 30 frames per second at any point. So I decided to use 50% of resolution scaling by using the low settings, and the results were so much better. Of course, it costs a lot of visual quality, you can notice a lot of pixelation, but by doing this you can play the game above 40 frames per second with an average of 53, where the game performs pretty much between the 40 and 60 frames per second, which is very playable. But yeah, it looks really pixelated, as you can see in here. So, but yeah, it is playable, alright? But what about the game? I mean, I was saying bad things about the game, what can I say about it? So, like I was about to tell, this guy seems to copy the gameplay from the other franchises that they have. For example, MotoGP shares the same gameplay as Ride, but Ride, it is more on the, you know, on the regular environments, and the MotoGP are on the official tracks, the big tracks, where you can actually ride the motorcycles for the teams. I mean, the MXGP is more of a rally cross, the Monster Energy Supercross, it is about Supercross. They all share pretty much the same gameplay. Ride and MotoGP share the same gameplay, and Monster Energy Supercross and the MXGP share the same gameplay. There are other games, like I tell you, like Gravel, which is a little bit different. It is a car-based game. And these guys always release like one game per year or 2 games per year, but it seems that they never really nail it. I mean, the games are fine, but they are also very expensive. They always ask full price, $49.99, and unfortunately this game, which I have trouble to speak the entire name of it, the Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game free, shares the same issues, because it is costing $49.99 on Steam, so it's still very expensive. So yeah, I don't really understand, because I'm not saying that the games aren't really worth it, but really, I mean, it's very expensive title, and they kind of do the same thing over and over again, just like FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer. But the thing is, these games aren't always really good, and if you go to Steam page, you see that most of the people are complaining about the gameplay. They say that it is pretty much the same as the other years. They just revamp some stuff into it, and they relaunch another game every year, so it doesn't really make sense, you know. It's like FIFA and Pro Evolution, but the difference is people are, you know, all the people want football games, and not all the people want really a Supercross game. at all. They want one, they don't want each Supercross game, and really, unless you are really a fan of it. So I don't really know it. I don't know. I think that probably this game doesn't really deserve the money unless you are really a big fan of the series or of Supercross. Because aside from that, $49.99 for this game, I don't think it is really worth it, and the reviews speak from themselves. Alright, so guys, that's all that I want to talk about. Let's read this because I need to read to say the name of the game. The Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game free. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. At least this track, it is way more demanding than the Supercross in my opinion. And I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.